In this lesson, we're going to talk about independent and dependent variables and what they look like on graphs. So first, let's imagine that we're planning a party, and we want to order food for the party, but the amount of food that we're going to buy obviously has to depend on the number of people that are going to come. We don't want to get way too much food because then we waste money. We don't want to get way too little food because then our guests are going to get mad. I would be mad myself. Um, so we're going to order one pizza for every 5 people that come. So let's go ahead and plot this out on this graph here. So first we need to think about what's going to go on our x-axis and what's going to go on our y-axis. Well, if I'm thinking, the x-axis is kind of going to tell me what to do with the y, because if we're plotting points, we always start with the x and then the y. So if we're thinking about our situation here, we need to start by thinking about how many people are going to come, because that's going to tell us how many pizzas to buy. So the x-axis is going to be the number of people, right? And the number of people is going to tell us how many pizzas to buy. So the y-axis is going to be the number of pizzas. Okay, so maybe we can even write this here. This is going to be our people, and this is going to be our pizza. And so this x-axis is counting by fives. So at the first 5 people, I'm ordering 1 pizza. At 10 people, now I'm going to order 2 pizzas. At 15 people, now I'm going to order 3 pizzas, and it's going to keep going forever for however many friends you have. And so this is kind of an introduction to what independent and dependent variables are. You already know what this means. Now we're just going to formalize it. So an independent variable is a variable that can change freely. Independent variable is a variable that can change freely. So the number of people can change to really however much we want, right? If I don't want to invite, whoever, then I don't have to. I can choose how many people to invite. But however many people I invite is going to tell me how many pizzas I need to buy. So that's my dependent variable, is a variable that changes based on other numbers, right? Variable that changes based on other numbers. So my independent variable would be the number of people that I'm inviting, where my dependent variable would be the number of pizzas I have to buy, depending on how many people that I invite. And then ordered pair, this is just a point on the graph. And remember, we write it as xy. So we look on our x-axis first, so go left or right, and then go up or down on our y-axis. And so we think that the x comes first and then the y. So we think, okay, what do I need to figure out first? And that'll tell me my y value. Okay, so what we're going for today is figuring out what is our independent and what's our dependent variable. So let's do these 2 examples. Natalia loves music, and she joins this online music store. And when she becomes a member, then she can pay $1 per song. So I think, okay, what depends on what, right? However much money I'm going to spend obviously depends on however many songs that she chooses to buy, right? So the dependent variable in this case would be the money, however much she has to spend, right? Where the independent would be the number of songs, right? Because the more songs she buys, obviously the higher her cost grows. So we can write this here. This would be our songs, and this would be our money on the y-axis, okay? The money depends on the number of songs that she buys. Second example here, Kaya is the building manager for an office building. One of her responsibilities is she has to empty out this 200-gallon aquarium. And so she has to obviously remove the fish. And so the water drains at a constant rate of 10 gallons per minute. And so we think, what's the independent and the dependent variable, right? So I see that obviously the water is draining out, the water is decreasing, right? And so my independent is going to be something that is not affected by anything else. Well, the less water that's in the tank, right? The water keeps going down the longer that she lets it drain, right? And so in this case, my independent variable can be, well, how long am I going to let this tank empty, right? So we can put that on our x-axis because I have to think, okay, how much time is this going to take? And then that's going to tell me how much water is left in the tank. So we can say the water level would be my dependent variable. And that again goes on our y-axis. So that's an introduction to independent and dependent variables. Good luck in your practice, and I'll see you in the next video.